What's up YouTube, Jason here with Byte My Bits, and in today's video I am going to be outlining some of the top 5 security cameras that I've reviewed on this channel in 2018. Whether you're protecting yourself on public Wi-Fi, bypassing regional filters, or just simply wanting to download something without the worries of a government or a corporation not liking you for it, a VPN service is a must-have solution. And depending on where you're located, it could be hard to find a VPN fast enough for daily use. That's why the 30-day 100% money-back guarantee of NordVPN is so valuable, because even though I can tell you I get great speeds and reliability, as they say, the proof is in the pudding. By visiting nordvpn.com/byte or clicking the link in the video description below, you can test these speeds out for yourself with a heavy discount. And with 30 days to prove its worth, it's a safe way to ensure you're getting what you paid for. If you ask me, I think security cameras are almost an addiction. Once you have the ability to have eyes on your property, to keep an eye on what's going on outside or possibly even inside your home, it's hard to ignore that. And my addiction started with my garage. I had this thing where I wanted to be able to make sure that my garage door was closed. I've never left it open, but it's always been an inherited fear that one day I would leave for work and I'd be zombied out driving to work and I wouldn't close the garage door. Even though it's never happened, I've always been scared. So that's where the whole security camera thing for me started. I wanted to be able to log in, make sure the garage door was closed from anywhere in the world and not have that fear, or at least if I have that fear, I have the way to double check that it's, closed. But not all security cameras are built the same, and through my adventure, I have found that there are many ups and downs to different brands. And a lot of these ups and downs cannot be experienced without actually utilizing them for sometimes an extended period of time. For example, Reolink cameras, they worked really great during my review process, but then when the weather got colder and they started acting weird, and it's like I can't really get them to stay connected anymore. So it's just one of those kind of things where you do need a long time to get some of those little small quirks that might not rear their head at the beginning of an experience. So I have about 6 different areas that I usually focus on when I'm looking at security cameras. Of course, the first one is always going to be quality. Now, the quality can mean a lot of different things, whether it's resolution, bitrate, or just weird artifacting in the video itself. And of course, through my adventures, I've definitely gained a major appreciation for cameras that support ONVIF, or at bare minimum, they support an RTSP stream. That way they can be used with Blue Iris. And the last major one for me is power over Ethernet. After I got myself a power over Ethernet switch, I found it way too easy to be able to run an Ethernet cable, have the camera powered on and connected to the network at the same time. Not to mention that, but because my power over Ethernet switch is in the same rack system as my UPS, it is supported by the battery backup. So it's nice that if the power does flicker or go down, it won't knock off all my cameras, or at least the ones that are hooked up to power over Ethernet, because those are backed up by the UPS. Now, a couple subcategories here that probably could be more important to some than others are cost, because everybody's budget is their own. It's hard to say what's expensive to everybody out there. Isn't an eyesore, which again, it's kind of depending on the person, where you're going to place it, whether or not it's business, residential, whether or not you really care what it looks like on the outside of your house. And 3, the wide angle lens, which has actually become more important to me as of late, just because I've definitely grown to appreciate having that wider area of view with one single camera versus just a more focused camera. So with that said, and without me rambling on any longer, let's jump into my top 5 cameras. Number 5, and this is the only indoor specific camera because I feel like outdoor cameras are more versatile because you can put them both indoor and outdoor. But for number 5, I have the Amcrest 4 megapixel Wi-Fi PTZ or pan tilt zoom indoor security camera. Now this is number 5 because it cannot be put outdoors, but it does have a ton of features. It's easy to use, it's very reliable, and overall the quality of the camera is amazing. It has a 120-degree wide angle lens. It only cost about $100 on Amazon. It's been reliable for Blue Iris both on Wi-Fi and Ethernet, which means I don't have any dropouts or disconnections. And the only thing that I can really find that I don't like about it is its digital zoom. And what I mean is, as a pan tilt zoom camera, the pan and the tilt are physical, and the zoom, instead of being optical, is only digital, so it's just blowing up an image. Still a great camera overall, and a good solution to monitor things inside of your home and have the ability to move around that room if you need to. Number 4, the Ubiquiti Unifi G3. Now this is the only 1080p camera on my list because I've definitely grown to appreciate higher resolution cameras. And I was a little hesitant to put it on the list because as a 1080p camera, it also cost $160. Also, it doesn't technically support ONVIF like the Amcrest cameras do, but I was able to get it hooked up to Blue Iris utilizing an RTSP stream. But this is just one of those cameras that I've put it up and it has been super reliable. And even though it is a 1080p resolution, the quality itself overall has been fantastic. And it also has sound built into it, which makes it perfect for putting it on the porch. So if someone rings my doorbell or something, I can load up the camera and I can see what's going on and also hear what's going on. There's only one thing that really bugs me with Ubiquiti cameras, at least this version. I think they might have changed this for future revisions, but with this version, they utilize their own version of PoE. I don't know if it's a different voltage or some other different type, but my PoE switch will not power on this G3 camera at all. So instead of using the Cisco switch I already have, I have to use an Ubiquiti PoE injector that is specified for this brand. I don't know why they do that, or at least I don't know why they did that. But either way, it's been a great camera overall and I'm definitely impressed. And that brings me to number 3, the WGCC Power over Ethernet 4 megapixel dome camera. Now at that 4 megapixel resolution, it gives you 20 frames per second. It doesn't have audio, but it does have audio input. So if you want to buy a microphone, you can hook it up to it. And of course it is ONVIF compatible. WGCC actually makes kind of the similar version of this camera, but it's in a bullet form. But in my testing, the bullet version of this performs considerably worse than the dome version. I don't know why, at least when it comes to nighttime quality. This night vision quality is pretty decent, but there is just a slight amount of weird ghosting going on for anything that's moving in the camera, but it's not nearly as bad as the bullet version of this. But the thing that really sticks out is that this thing is cheap. In fact, on Amazon, it's like $59.99 or $60. $60. I mean, I've had this thing hooked up on the side of my house since I've had it. It's been reliable, doesn't drop out. It's been cold, it's been hot. It's just been a fantastic camera and I'm definitely impressed, and that's why it's number 3 on my list. But that brings me to number 2, which is an Amcrest dome camera. Now the Amcrest dome camera took number 2 spot because it is an 8 megapixel camera or a 4K camera. It again does not have audio built into it, but it does have audio input options. It of course is ONVIF compatible, so it easily works with Blue Iris. It has a 112-degree wide angle lens. And installation is super simple because you can rotate the lens so many different ways. You can hook it up almost any way you want to and point it anywhere you want to because of how customizable the lens is during installation. Now you do have to physically move that lens around. It's not motorized or anything, but the options are still there. Yes, it's going to be at least twice the price as the WGCC dome, but still, I think with the quality, the custom installation, lens configuration, you still have the audio inputs, and it's been super reliable. I think it's a fantastic camera and overall deserves the number 2 spot. And then for the number 1 spot, we have an Amcrest 4K or 8 megapixel bullet power over Ethernet camera. This again is a 112-degree wide angle lens completely opened up with ONVIF. Just like its sibling, the dome camera, it has fantastic daytime and nighttime quality. No, it doesn't have audio built into it, which I really do kind of wish it does, but in the end, it doesn't really matter. But because it has the 112-degree wide angle lens, it's able to capture quite a bit in front of my house. Because it's been super reliable, it's not dropping out. It hooks up to Blue Iris very easily, has no issues configuring. Overall, utilizing and relying on this camera for the main camera in my house, keeping an eye on the driveway, the street, everything. It is my number 1 camera for this entire list. The only caveat that I can say is that because I utilize it in front of my house and I want to be able to capture, or at least have the biggest chance of capturing a license plate, I do lower the resolution just a little bit to get 25 frames per second. I pretty much run it at 3072 by 1728 versus the native 4K resolution that's built into it. Because at the native 4K, I only get 15 frames per second, and to me, I found that it's much easier to have a better chance of capturing a license plate if I have more frames to work with. But even with that being said, it has been an amazing camera, and it's one of the very few cameras that I'm actually considering buying, probably at least 2, if not 3 more, to pretty much just use Amcrest around all the major spots in my house. And actually wanting to buy a camera means a lot to me because I get these cameras in for review and I usually get them for free. So, you know, to actually want to go out and buy one when I could just wait for more review cameras to come in and see if those do good and see if I want to replace other cameras with the new ones. I mean, I can do that in the long game, but I really do like these Amcrest cameras, and I am definitely considering replacing some of my outdoor cameras with these main models because of the resolution, because of reliability, and because of how easy they are to use. So there you have it, my top 5 cameras of 2018. Yes, I know, Amcrest took 3 out of the 5 spots, but hey, what can I say? If you're impressed, you are impressed. Just in case you're wondering why I did not include Reolink cameras, I have 2 reasons. One, I have had major connectivity issues where it would disconnect from Blue Iris. I still have one that I use on my back porch. I just don't have a replacement camera for it yet, so it drops out all the time. I have issues with pixelation, etc. And 2, they are not good with cold weather. On numerous occasions, the Reolink cameras have just dropped out whenever it gets, like, let's say 5 or 10 degrees outside. I mean, they just go offline. Just do not function. Every other camera doesn't have a problem, at least the ones that I have, but the Reolink cameras, they do not like the cold. And because I live in Kansas, it gets cold, and that's just not something that I can deal with. So guys, of course, if you want to check out any of the cameras listed in this video today, utilize the links in the description down below. I would definitely appreciate it. These are, of course, affiliate links, so if you do want to use any of those links, it would help out my channel. So if you do, thank you, thank you, and thank you. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, of course, post them in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and have yourself a good day.